Alrighty, well, like I said, my camera cut off on me. But where was I? So, I just want to close off with this one thing. Um, look up this video on NYPD being the biggest gang there is, or whatever. It's crazy. This guy, they walk a guy from the van in handcuffs. They walk him from the van to the police station willingly, like he wasn't putting up a fight or anything. You could visually see that he was walking with his own two legs, and then they take him into the station, and then 20 minutes later an ambulance takes him out in a stretcher. Like, the guy was incoherent. Like, what happened in that station? Also, when I'm not entirely sure, it's been a while since I've seen this video, but I'm pretty sure when the story is that when he was seen walking into the station in handcuffs, they were saying that, oh, this guy, he just beat his woman. Like, it was a case of domestic violence, and he was beating his woman, this and that, right? Now, when he gets taken out in a stretcher and he's incoherent, the journalists, or whoever, the street journalists, probably, they're asking questions with their cameras, and they're like, what happened to him? What happened to him? And the officers then change up the story and say, oh, he's emotionally disturbed. As if, like, as if they didn't just say 20 minutes ago that he beat up his woman and stuff. So it basically insinuates that they took him to the station, beat the crap out of him to the point that he nearly died. I don't know if he died or anything, but they carried him out in a stretcher, and he wasn't moving. That's crazy. That totally just reminds me of, like, the Amadou Diallo. No, was it Diallo? No, Abner Luima. Both crazy stories from, I believe, the 90s, when I was just in middle school. Crazy stuff. And we'd go to school, and we'd have to talk about current affairs and stuff like that, and current events, I mean, and our teachers are having to explain to us that, well, the NYPD mistake a wallet for a handgun, and they shot this guy, I think it was 47 times or something. Amadou Diallo, so messed up. And then Abner Luima, this is kind of is relevant to what I'm talking about, where they take this guy Abner Luima to the police station, and in the bathroom they sodomized him with I don't know if it was a broomstick or a plunger. I think the report was it was a plunger, but like, how messed up is the NYPD, or how messed up were they before that they, just totally violated this guy? This guy was an immigrant. Like, I'm sure he didn't speak English that well, and I don't mean to be mean to assume these things, but I'm thinking, don't criticize me for just assuming these things, but I'm thinking he was a immigrant. He didn't speak English very well, and they took him into the bathroom in the police station, and they sodomized him with a plunger. Like, why? What? Like, is that like police protocol? Like, is that what they teach NYPD? It's messed up. I think I think the cops involved in the Dialo case and the Luima case, I'm pretty sure they all walked off. Like, I'm not too sure. This was so long ago, but this infuriated so many people. It infuriated people from the moment it happened. Like, why does this need to happen to people? Like, this shouldn't happen to people. The police should be there to serve and protect us. But you know what? That's another one of my points is their job really to serve and protect the community? Does the community come first? And you know what? If you ask me, I don't think so. I think these guys are just they're basically like clerks for the city. They work for the mayor. I think they work for the mayor, and their job basically is to make the city money so that the local government can still operate. Like, they give tickets like crazy for stupid things. Like, I remember when I was in high school, the first time I ever heard about this, somebody or a bunch of people were getting tickets for sitting on milk crates. Like, are you serious? Insane. Crazy. I really just believe that the main objective for law enforcement is to make the local city government money to operate. Like, I don't think I'm pretty sure if you were to really go on a ride along with a cop, or if you were to study police, the comings and goings of police and their day-to-day routine, I doubt that they're worried about the safety of people. And if, you know, I mean, sure, they catch criminals, but like, how many tons and tons and tons of criminals that fly under the radar and they don't catch them, you know? So, I don't know. They're just there to make the city money. And by that, they harass people, they harass regular, you know, regular everyday hardworking Joes, and they harass them and hand out tickets, and for what, man? To make the city money. That's why I say, if you can't beat them, join them. And I got an interesting story. I'll tell you some other time about this time that I applied for the police, and I went through the oral examination. It was basically like a group interview, and they asked me questions. They asked about six of us trying to get the job, and there was 3 on the panel, and they asked us questions, and I think I did really well in these questions. And even the law enforcement in my family, I went to them and I said, yo, they asked me these questions, I gave them this response, and they disqualified me. Like, what? And even the members of law enforcement in my family were just like, are you serious? Like, why? Why were you not accepted? Why didn't you move on to the next part? It's stupid. And it was questions like, I'll recap this in another time, but I'll give you a brief glimpse into what it was. It was like, oh, if you were to catch your supervisor stealing, what would you do? And I said, I would report him and say that he's unfit to be a leader. You know, how am I supposed to follow the lead of a supervisor who's corrupt? Another question was, if you're out on a call and you notice that your partner is being way too aggressive, aka police brutality, what would you do? If it was just me and my partner, I I would call for backup, and when backup gets there, we would successfully be able to detain the suspect and also pull off my partner and handle both situations at the same time. If it was just me pulling off my partner, what, the suspect gets away? That doesn't make sense. What was the other question? Oh, by the way, backtracking to the one about the supervisor stealing. Being that there were six of us answering these questions and stuff, we got to hear each other's responses, and so many other responses. So many of the other people's responses was, "Oh, I would try to counsel him." The supervisor, him or her, I would try to counsel them, and if it's financial hardship that they're going through, I would offer to help. Like, excuse me, as an employee, I don't believe in counseling a superior. Like, what? What kind of nonsense is that? Does that make sense? It's idiotic why my response is, oh, another one of the questions I just remembered. What about your past, your upbringing? If you feel has geared you up towards law enforcement, a career in law enforcement. I says, well, you know what? I grew up in New York City. I went to college in Manhattan, and I went to school with a lot of people from different parts of the world, and I feel like understanding other people's cultures would give me an advantage, and not to be derogatory here, but it gives me the upper advantage over somebody who might be small town, small mind, and engaging with the public, which may be of different ethnicities and cultures. Doesn't that sound right? Like, the it should policing should be about the community, getting to know your community and the members of the community. Like, how stupid is it that 3 out of 5 of the questions that I can remember now, that those answers should be spot on. If you agree with me, please comment down below. But these responses should be a no-brainer. Like, those are like dead on. Why wasn't I moved on to the next part of the hiring process? Alright, peeps, I'm out. I'm gonna do what I do, you know what I mean? So, keep on rocking in the free world, alright, you be easy. I'll catch you later next time. Peace out.